So today I will be reviewing The Little Women of LA Season 6, Episode 6. So this season I've been begging, crying, pleading, talking to anybody who'll listen, asking what was going on with Brianna. And I finally got my answer. But there's a couple things. It's not a one solution problem. So let's break it up into categories. So let's start out with the least of her problems. One of her problems is she's a backstabber. Okay, so she got caught soliciting Tara's agent, basically asking if he would take her on too. And Tara felt like this was a betrayal. And I don't blame her. It is a betrayal. Number one, it was behind her back. She didn't come to her and say, hey, do you think your agent can represent me? She tried to do it on the low, behind Tara's back, in a room full of people that heard what was going on. So apparently, Kerwin and Preston overheard what was going on, and so did Tanya. Of course, when you find out something like this, what's the first thing they did? Tanya went back and told Tara, and her agent even told her, her manager, because you're supposed to tell people things like that. Like, you can't do that. Like, so when Tara confronted her, did you do this? She did what most liars do. She absolutely lied, even though there was more than a handful of witnesses. Insane. I mean, she's not even rational with her lies. You know how you have smart criminals and dumb criminals? You also have smart liars and dumb liars. And Brianna kind of falls in the category of a dumb liar. Because if you're going to tell lies, you can't do it in front of witnesses. This is the dumbest thing I ever heard of. So one of her problems is she's a bold-faced liar. And then what makes me even more upset is she's a bad liar at that. It's just the dumbest thing I ever heard of. If you're gonna lie, and we all lie, there are situations in life where you have to lie. Just lie. But this wasn't one of them. And then when you're found out about the lie, you really have to cop to it right away, or it turns into something bigger it doesn't have to be. And that's one of her problems, one of her many. So another one of her problems is she's a bad friend. And most backstabbers are horrible friends. And so she fits the profile. So she has this best friend that's named Lisa. And Lisa has had this problem thrown in her lap, which is Matt has been coming onto her in little subliminal ways, where just enough where she knows what's going on, but he could back his way out of it if he was ever caught. So, and he has a track record of being a huge fan of dick pics. Remember last season? Like, he loves sending people dick pics. He loves cheating on Brianna. This is why everyone hates him and no one can stand him, kind of including me. So I was feeling sorry for him a little bit till I find out what's really going on. He's back up to his old tricks. But her friend was faced with the daunting task of wondering, do I tell her or do I not? This is a serious issue. Me personally, I don't tell my friends because it's none of my business. And most of the time, they do jump on the side of their boyfriend or spouse. So I felt bad for her, but Lisa had the courage to confront her. But it turned out the way that it always turns out, is most of the time, the woman always jumps on the side of the boyfriend or spouse. So this is what makes her a horrible friend. So even though Matt has a clear-cut track record of being a douche, she still jumped on his side, and then she started bad-mouthing her best friend that was only looking out for her best interest. Like, oh my God, Brianna, look, I think you're very pretty, but you got a lot going on. You're a liar, you're a backstabber, and you turn on your own friends in support of your husband that, you know, in your heart, he's a major douchebag. And so she turned on her friends, and it made her other friends, Tanya, Tara, Jasmine, and Elena, look at her in a bad kind of way. Like, if you could do her like that, you could do me like that. Me personally, she would go on my list of friends, but not friends. And those are the kind of people you only talk to every so often, and you just kind of ease your way out of their life. You can't do it abruptly, because then they're going to come crying and lying and claiming their innocence. You have to do it on the down low. You just have to ease your way out the relationship. So I would be easing my way out of that relationship. On top of being a liar, a backstabber, and a fan of dick pics, so because she knows her husband loves dick pics, so when you don't do anything about it, to me, you're just as guilty. So I'm going to label her a fan of dick pics. But on top of all that, she has a bigger problem on her hands, and that is Matt, okay? Matt is a huge problem. Like, what did Donald Trump say? Huge. Matt is a huge problem. This guy has, I'm not trying to be mean, but almost a mental illness. Why? He means her no good because he has a lot of internal problems going on. It's obvious. Like, Matt has problems with, and I believe one season he admitted it. Like, he said something about he having a bad childhood. He has a lot of problems. So this would justify her craziness that she labeled postpartum. Brianna, you don't have postpartum. You have post-Matt. He's your problem. You know he's a cheater, so this makes you paranoid at all times. You don't know who he's gonna come on to, when he's gonna cheat on you, what he's doing. You can't believe a word he says. That makes you live a life of stress. So this thing that you're calling postpartum is actually a nervous breakdown. It's a nervous breakdown because you are living with tons of worry and doubts and no help. You know, he might be around when the cameras are on, but I don't think he's really supporting you with the children either. You're going to have a nervous breakdown. So I really hope you keep that appointment with that therapist that you said that you made in episode 1, but you never brought it back up. Here we are 6 episodes later. You need help. You need help sorting out these problems. You need help mending relationships with your friends. You need help on your backstabbing. Because if you're gonna be a backstabber, the plan has to go off according to plan. You know, whatever you're backstabbing it's a really step-by-step process. And your plan to lure Tara's agent was a huge flop. Like, please. And now you have totally destroyed that relationship. Like, if you're going to be a con artist, you got to learn how to be a good one. And you're not. So this is also give you nervous breakdowns because being a backstabber, you're horrible at it. Being a liar, you're even worse at it. And your Matt problems, you're not handling those too well. Because the only way for your relationship to work with Matt is some serious, not counseling. You need a psychiatrist. You need a psychiatrist for Matt. Both of you need individual psychotherapy. Not counseling, psychiatrist. Ooh, so, you know, I understand what's going on. So now I know to be a little more gentle with you because you're really a walking basket case. You're going to have a nervous breakdown, Brianna, and I hope to God you don't get a tubal reversal. You need your tube tied because you can't bring a baby into this mess. You already have 2 into this mess. Ooh, I'm exhausted talking about it. So Next, let's talk about my girl, Tanya. I love Tanya. I'm glad that her Bell's palsy is gone because the whole Captain Hook look was driving me crazy. I mean, she's not perfect. She has serious anger management issues. but she seems to be trying to work on him this year. But we have another problem going on with my girl Tanya, and if she doesn't take care of this, this could be a serious problem. Okay, so she's ready to get married, and Kerwin basically is saying no. And he's basically saying no because he's saying, you don't spend enough time with me. It's the Tanya show. You're selfish. Everything is about you and not about me. Well, first, just on hearing that, first of all, sounds very mean. But she has to really think about what he's saying and realize and analyze it. Is he telling the truth? Is he not telling the truth? We need to fix what's going on here, because this could be a deal breaker, not just in Tanya's relationship, in any relationship. If a person feels neglected, that's a problem. And if he's just being hypersensitive and want just a baby that loves to be pampered, that's a problem too. So we got to figure out what's going on here, Tanya. I mean, is he telling the truth? Is there some merit to what he's saying? Could this possibly be the reason Angelique doesn't like her own dad? Or thinks you guys should get married? What is going on? So now that I have answers from Brianna, I'm going to need answers about Tanya and Kerwin's relationship, because that's a hell of a thing to say. We need to get to the bottom of this. We need to get to the bottom of it immediately. So now I'm not wondering what's going on with Brianna anymore. Sorry, Tanya. Now you're on my hot seat. Got to figure out what's going on. Okay. Next we have Jasmine. Jasmine was beginning to question her friendship with Brianna, and I don't blame you. I mean, when you found out that she backstabbed Lisa, you re-examined the entire relationship. So we don't know what you're gonna do, but that's where we left off. You were like, I have to re-examine things, and I don't blame you. No one wants to be associated with a backstabber, liar, with tons of math problems. So I kind of understand where you're coming from, Jasmine, and I don't blame you. Next, we have my favorite person on the show, the beautiful Elena. Love, 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 Elena. So Elena found out that one of her twins is going to be average height, and the other one's going to have another form of dwarfism. Well, you know, she's very blunt and honest. When she found the news, she started crying. And on the surface, this might seem really mean. Like, just because he's going to be a little person doesn't mean he's going to have a terrible life. I don't think she meant it that way. What she was saying is that LPs have different kinds of physical problems, and she was one of them. And so I think Tara needs to back up off her a little bit, allow her to have these feelings. Just because you're not upset about it, Tara, doesn't mean Elena doesn't have the right to be upset, and she just doesn't want her son to have the physical problems that comes with being a LP. So she has two twins, Cairo and Xavier. Xavier's the average height one, and Cairo's going to have some form of dwarfism. But the good news is, hopefully he doesn't have that many problems, and you have a remarkable husband that will help if there's any kind of physical health problems that comes with little Cairo's physical conditions. Last but not least, we have Christy. So during this episode, oh yeah, there was no Christy. This whole episode. That's not good, Christy. Have you ran all your friends away? And you know, it's not good when you start missing episodes. Christy, you might be in need of a new job. I mean, that's not a good sign, now is it? Oh boy, Christy, red flag. You know, I hope this doesn't mean this is your last season, but it looks like this is your last season. So in short, this was a very good episode. I got a lot of questions answered that I had questions to, but I still have questions. Now all of my energy is focused on Tanya. So I'll be there next week. Thanks for watching. Talk to you then. Bye.